Hello and welcome to another episode of B2 Beast. We got another beast in the building. She is a former global branding executive, also a fine artist, and has now turned her career into helping business owners and entrepreneurs master their personal brand. Please welcome Anna Bubolea.
Hi, Travis.
Oh, man. Thank you. Welcome to the show. We are tapping into the best of the best in B2B business. And this is a lane that you've carved yourself into as a personal brand / social media master of sorts in the digital era. So would love to just start in your world, a quick little curveball. What is one thing you are grateful for right now?
Oh my God, I'm so grateful for my network, actually. And I'm so grateful for being here with you, Travis. Thank you for having me in your show. I think, it's a fabulous world to be doing business in today. So we are having lots of brilliant people here, all over and, all around us actually, who are looking to grow, to expand themselves and not in one area, but in so many areas. So I'm super grateful for being able to be in the middle of all of that and being able to really put just my little stamp on it, because you introduced me very, very nicely. But I'm sure that, my contribution is very small compared to everything that we are doing collectively. So if I would pick one, it would be definitely my network.
Oh, love it. Yeah, no, it's been an amazing journey. This digital social realm. Yeah. It's amazing how we have access to literally people all around the world, every level, every industry. And it brings us to moments like this. So super grateful to have you here today, Anna. Let's
likewise
jump into it with something exciting, a big win from your career. So for people that don't know your story and your adventure, what would you consider your most exciting win of your career? And what lessons and strategies can we learn from that adventure?
Okay, this might surprise you, but what I consider it as my biggest win is the fact that I managed to give up. So I managed to actually lose something in order to win something big. So I gave up my 15 years plus career and my C-suite job and, the 6 figures paycheck at the end of the year. And I gave it all up to, jump into a completely different world, that of being an artist. I failed at that. And then, I turned back to mixing creative side and the business, and then I was successful again. But that is for me the biggest win, because if I wouldn't have had, that jump into the unknown and that courage to just that craziness, if you want to, the craziness moment to do that jump and to be willing to fail, I wouldn't have been here and I wouldn't have learned everything that I've learned, and I wouldn't have helped, the people that I know are now very successful as well. So, I'm not going to talk about numbers with you. I'm not going to talk about, very, data facts. I'm going to talk about what is really impacting my soul pretty much, because I'm doing personal branding. So for me, that's the business of making it personal and making meaningful in so many other ways than just the data.
Amazing. No, it's a huge transition that we're seeing, especially even in big business, which is a lot of our focus. The personal brand and bringing your face to the company has become virtually non-negotiable. There are some of obviously Fortune 500 level, once you're big enough, it really doesn't matter. But even to a certain degree, those level companies still have the Jeff Bezos, the all of these Elon Musk dilemmas. Clearly there's an impact between the personal brand and the business and the company. I guess what used to be a gap is disappearing.
Yes. No, for sure.
It's very interesting to see.
Yeah. And you are mentioning that, when it's a big company, it almost doesn't matter anymore. But, I tend to disagree. And it's funny that you mentioned Elon Musk, because everybody's looking at him these days, right? But I was just looking at some numbers, and, his followers, if you look just at the social media, are around 20 million. Okay. All over. And his company is about 5 million followers. So that tells you that people actually follow people. It's not about the brand as a company. It's about the face behind it. And it has always been like that. And I don't know, think about Disney. And, if they hear me and they disagree, I will also disagree with them. But if there wasn't Mickey Mouse, it wouldn't be Disney, right? So you still associate that with Walt Disney, of course. You associate that with the personality. You associate it with more than just a product. You associate it with something that humanizes it, that makes you feel connected emotionally to it. So I think personal branding is, many people are realizing now how big that is. And it's not only for influencers, it's not only for the big leaders, it's for everyone who wants to find out who they are first, what's their why, and then being able to step up and present themselves in the world that it's meaningful and is bringing value,
Yes. Key phrase there.
Yeah.
People follow people. Simple formula, simple lesson to take away. No matter how big of the brand it really gets, there's still an element here that the individual that you're putting in that seat, not only from a leadership and executive level, is shaping that company, but on that macro level too, public opinion, literal, actual stock price. It's way deeper than a lot of people think. So brilliant insights here already. Let's tap into the opposite side of the story, maybe failures, dropping the ball in this category. What does it look like when either a business or a company or an executive fails in personal branding? Or maybe you have a story in your arsenal of an epic failure under these circumstances. What does that look like, and what lessons can we extract from a moment like that?
No, failure is the best thing that can happen to you, but jokes aside, in a way it is actually one of the best things that can happen. When I obviously started my professional career in a corporate world, and I'm so grateful for that, because they taught me so many things, and I've been all over the world, and I've been lucky enough to be put in really interesting jobs and meeting very, very interesting people from a very early age. So, the moment in my arrogance, I would say my arrogance, because I was like, well, I can do it all, right? So I'm just going to give this up right now. And without any knowledge about what I want to do next, I'm just going to do it. And, I didn't have any particular money put aside or network or connections into my art world, which I wanted to do. I just knew that, I'm tired. I want to do something else. I want to do something more meaningful for me. So I'm going to do art. And you know what? I obviously failed at it, and I failed at it like an artist can fail at it, in a very big way. And I'm so incredibly proud of the art that I was doing, and the fact that I still, hang on to it, and I didn't give it up, and I didn't go back to, okay, let me get a job now. But, the biggest lesson was that it's good for me, it's good to take chances, but it's good to also know when to stop doing something that is not good for you. And if you fail, and I hope you will fail, sit back and learn from it. And I hope you will fail early in your career and in your businesses, because the earlier you fail, the more you will learn. The success that we are seeing on social media, everybody's famous, everybody's happy, everybody's flourishing. That success is usually built in years and years of consistent work. The success that happens overnight is actually years of work behind it. And we need to really see that for ourselves before being arrogant to think that we can do it the next day. You can be this famous artist or whatever. So I have seen this, of course, with me. And I have seen it also with my clients who are just trying to do something completely different out of the blue, or without really getting a process, a system, a network of support around them. And inevitably they failed. And the ones that took that failure lesson and continued, didn't give up, are the ones that are most successful now. And that's as well the other side of the story, I think.
We see it over and over and over. Consistency is the keystone. That's every single person I've seen. There are minor, tiny little outliers of like 0.001% of like the overnight success stories. But almost every single time you look under the hood and diagnose and study the situation, it's something they have been plugging at for years and years and years and adjusting, pivot, adjust, pivot, optimize, just pivot. Exactly. And we see it over and over. So love hearing yet another dose of that story, persevering through those failures and just recognizing those signals of, all right, maybe this isn't the lane. Like we have to be real and truthful with ourselves. And sometimes those are difficult conversations, but if you can make it through those questions, find those answers and put in the work, voila, back on track. And you eventually find those breakthrough points that feel like when you're looking at it from the other side, that just happen overnight. And it's never, ever the case. Brilliant story and adventure there. A highlight. So let's move into snagging a little bit more from your world, jumping into our segment called The Secret Sauce. So I would love to tap into what exactly you're doing over in your world that's building this foundation for success. And the first question is, what habit or task is non-negotiable for you? Like, what is one thing that you just have to do every day?
Yeah. It's very simple for me. It's showing up. And this is what I'm telling to my clients as well. And this is what I'm doing. And showing up means fully showing up. And it's about consistency. It's about dedicating yourself to really show your true colors and all your values. It's about connecting. It's about being there daily and having not necessarily a big plan, but having there a foot in the door every single day. Because we're talking about personal branding, this is what I'm seeing all over again. People expect that if they do something good, let's take social media, right? It's important to get visibility. It's really the world that we are living in. So people who are saying, oh my God, I'm not on LinkedIn. I'm not on, Twitter. I don't read newspaper. I don't have a TV. I get it. Fine. But you're not living in a cave. It's the world that we are living in. Okay. And we have to show up unless we like to stay isolated in our little cabin and everything is fine, But if you want to really construct something, if you want to build something, then you have to show up. And that show up on social media is again what I was saying. Many people are doing it wrong, if you want, because they are believing that just doing it once or just doing it from time to time and, doing it in any way is going to be fine. And it's not. And that showing up means that you are dedicating to consistently showing value every single day to the people who do you the favor of following you and believing and looking for your messages and really connecting with you. And it's a reason why social media is called social media, right? It's social. And I have to respect you in order to really follow you. And you would better show the same respect to me. So I think personal branding it's a lot about that. And my secret sauce it's really about that. Showing up every single day in a way that makes you proud and in a way that makes the others feel respected for the value that you are bringing to them. And if you want, of course, I have systems and processes like, of exactly how to do it, but it doesn't matter as long as you are just doing it every day.
That's amazing. No, it is, and don't worry, I still will extract some of these systems and processes. And I have seen it over and over. The people that have that presence and this vibe, there's almost an energy that kind of comes through the screen or the phone or the monitor. Those are the best people, just crushing it in business and organic social media content. And even all of that, I guess, social value, social equity bleeds over and transfers over to other channels. Like when you're advertising, when you are putting out paid ads and paid marketing, if people recognize your voice and your face and your community already, everything else you're doing is going to have better ROI, a little bit more impact. All of that resistance that's normally at the front of an ad is now the opposite. They already know your face and they're kind of hooked to hear more of what you have to say. And it's just, I see it over and over and over. Even some of these big name companies are finally starting to realize this humanized element of their marketing, their sales, and everything in between really removes and reduces a lot of that friction in there. So and another brilliant thing to hear from you.
It moves people, Travis, sorry, I interrupted you actually, but it moves people, I think, from being just consumers to actually being creators. Because everyone right now they take their phone and they just scroll through it and they scroll through the information. But the key thing is for us to, if we want to build our personal brand, to stop being just consumers and start being creators as well.
It's a shift in mindset and perspective for sure. It takes like a lot of like cogs in there have to shift and change. But I know for sure, especially my story and seeing all the people around me, those that have made that slight shift in understanding themselves, even if you're not like, it's not an ego driven type of thing. Like that was a big piece of like the hesitation for me was like, the branding of being an influencer, like per se, of just like you have this like IG like dude out in Bali, like in your head, like what, like I don't know, Instagrammer like influencers is like what I think about. And when you can reshift that perspective to all you're simply doing is sharing your voice, your message, your lessons, your stories for the sole purpose of one other person. To help one other person. If you can shift that perspective, now that's 100%. I do that all day, every call anyways. It's like, how can I help? What do you need? So if you shift your perspective to this approach of you're just talking to you or yourself 5-10 years ago, it makes the conversation so much easier than trying to think of like, oh, I am the top 10 Twitter influencer or whatever with a big megaphone. It's just like a very weird vibe that I think sends people the other direction of like, oh, I'm not one of them. But if you simplify it and all it is a medium to help and connect with others, absolute game changer when it's done right. So brilliant to hear that. So in your processes or strategy or in your approach over there, can you walk us through at least a high level look at what are like the key factors to consider when building a personal brand in unison or in contrast with a business or company brand? Is that this is a recurring challenge that we see, especially in B2B, where an individual executive or a founder or VP has the challenge of their own personal brand versus investing in the company brand. How do we navigate that adventure? What should we do with this? Because there's a massive opportunity here for companies that do it right. But it is a little tricky. It is a little messy. How do we approach this?
And thank you for this question. And I think I'm going to share with you exactly how it happens in my conversations actually with my collaborators. So the first thing I ask somebody who wants to build a personal brand is why. And the usual answer is, I want to I want to create opportunities I want to drive sales. I want to change my job. I want to build a company. And, so there are very concrete things, which is great to have, but they are all things from the outside. And, in most of the cases, this is what happens. So the next level I take is all that is good. And we are going to focus on your priorities, but what's your why? And I think that the real difference between a company and a personal brand starts here. What's your why? Even if you are the CEO of a big company and you still want to develop your personal brand, and I highly, highly encourage that because it's important to have your own voice. It's crucial to know who you are, what you want to share to the world, what you don't want to share to the world. What are your values, your principles, your visions? Who are you? What is your why? And, this is a very, very hard question because, if you ask the same person, what's your why, they might have a different why now and in 1 year from now. And that's again good because we are changing, right? And it's okay to have a different why. Maybe now it's, because I want to build a family, because I want to do good in the world, because of my faith, because I want to, construct better products that will help the lives of many people, whatever that why is, because I'm a good person, or I'm a bad person, but it's important to start with your why and make that checkpoint very, very often. After that, I think, the natural next step is who is your tribe? And again, this is where many people don't stay and think, and they consume information and they transmit information from many different directions and from many different industries, people, anything you want, and the moment, this is not about niching down and limiting yourself. And I think that we can agree, like, look at myself, right? I'm a painter. I'm a former corporatist. I'm a brand consultant, I'm a dog lover. I mean, it's like, I'm so many things, right? So are you, Travis. And so are so many people. I think it's crap to consider that it's important and crucial to niche down. No, don't niche down. Find your 2, 3, 5 things, but, remain to those. And that's your tribe. And in that tribe, who is your ideal audience? Who would need your message? For whom will be valuable? Whom do you want to talk to? Whom do you want to support? And who in return can support you? And that's, I think, that the next really important step. And from there, everything goes on, so you can put colors to it, you can put the message, but the moment you have your why and your who, then everything comes together very nicely. You can truly create a strategy for showing up for your goals in whatever way you want. Be it content, being social, being advertising, being constructing a business, whatever it is. I think with these 2 things very well nailed down and constantly checked in.
Amazing. Amazing. What's your why and who is your tribe? Super, super simple formula. It's like if Simon Sinek met Seth Godin and they made a personal branding strategist, it is Anna. I love this approach. Those 2, because if you have those 2 pieces, I call them like the first dominoes, because if you can answer those questions, all of the other questions that you have hundreds of other questions that You are asking about your business. What channels should we on? What type of content should we post?
Exactly.
Should we send emails?
Exactly.
If you have those two things answered, what is your why? Who is your tribe? All of the rest of those questions are already answered because they have the answer in as what is the best answer for your tribe? What would they want? And then what's your why should answer a lot of those internal struggles if you do have that clarity. So brilliant to see it simplified, so simple in theory, so difficult in practice.
So true.
But that is amazing. Thank you for sharing your secret sauce, Anna. Much appreciated. So we're starting to get towards the end here. We got to get you through a quick little blitz of questions. This is our version of a little speed round where you will have two options given to you and you get to choose only one.
Okay.
With no context, no explainers, no asterisk marks. You just get to pick one and zip through them. And we'll see where it goes. Number one, Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
Yes. Okay. Number two.
You need a why? No. Okay.
After. Apple or Android?
Apple.
Okay.
I'm sold to Steve Jobs.
Here we go. Hitting pop stars now. Britney Spears or Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift.
All right. Board games or video games?
Board games. Board games.
There we go. Okay. All right. And then last one. Are you the type of person to dip your toe in or dive in head first?
Oh, I think I dive head first.
Yes. There it
and I love that.
Perfect. I'm not entirely surprised. Sometimes that's how you got to approach this crazy life and business thing. So absolutely amazing. You have earned your pitch, your plug for how we can help the listener here really navigate their personal brand. This is where you plug into individuals, executives, business owners, and really navigating that darkness of personal branding in the context of a business or a company. So what is your service, your product that you can share with us today, and how can people connect with you?
Okay. Well, I think that personal branding it's really a necessity today. And, anyone, whatever their level in their industry, thinks that it's not, they're doing a big disfavor to themselves. So I'm here to actually help those who want to step up the game, those who want to grow their personal brand in a meaningful way. And what I'm doing is to really just keep it like that, keep it meaningful, keep it personal. So I'm offering my services directly to those who want to go on the long run. I am very easy to reach. So you can find me on LinkedIn directly with my name, Anna Bubolea. I also have a website right now, annabubolea.com. I am currently working on a repository of a lot of freebies that I want to just share freely with anyone interested. So if you want to jump on my newsletter, please just do that. It's right there on my website. And I'm also offering a free 1-hour consultation, all throughout this month, actually, to assess your brand and to assess your needs. And if we can work together and if you want to work together with me. So if you want to take advantage of that, I'll be very happy to respond to any questions. On top of that, I'm actually sharing a lot on social media these days as well, especially on LinkedIn and on Twitter. So you can, again, find me there. And if you are not yet decided on whether or not personal branding is something that you want to invest in this year, at least, see what others are sharing about it, see what others are commenting, and then decide what's good for you, further on.
Love it. Love it. Such a vital piece of the puzzle here. Amazing to see that this personal branding, content creation, is starting to get the light it deserves. I've been on this train for a little while, trying to do the opposite, try to convince people. But I can feel it. I can see the momentum of more executives, higher level companies, higher level SDRs, sales reps, starting to see the light and being a creator, sharing your voice. And there's even like something like therapeutic about like finally being able to have your message, your voice, your content, all those little things you've wanted to say. So highly encourage anybody that is teeter-tottering on that adventure. Having that clarity is really a game changer for your personal life. And then it really bleeds into your professional life very well. So highly recommended to pursue this. Thank you, Anna. We are jumping into one last final question. We're going to hand you the mic one more time for our mic drop moment, where there's a listener sitting here on the other side, and they have the system, they have the strategies, they have the tools, and it's laid out in front of them. But there's something missing about moving forward. There's something holding them back from taking that step forward. What final words of advice or motivation can you share to send them into beast mode?
Okay. I would say have courage. Okay. Have courage to step into whatever is your passion. If there is one thing I regret, is not having done something, not that I did something. So have the courage to do whatever you have in your heart. Have the courage to step up, even if you don't know what is going to happen. There will be a way that you will learn through it. And if you don't do that, that's the only thing you are going to regret.
Boom! Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Anna Bubolea.
You're a beast.